Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone. Good evening, wherever you are watching from. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share what we have with you in the area of how we primarily follow our price data collection to support nutritious food research. I'm going to share my slides from here, if I'm permitted.
That's fine, yes, please go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right, please, do I have it there? Can we see?
Yes, if you can make it full screen.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
All right. I think I have it as a full screen now. Okay, so good. Right. So just as I'm introduced, I had a marketing services unit of the Statistics Research and Information Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Ghana. Right. Because of the time constraint, I wasn't going to take you through the process of how we do our data collection. I'm sure it doesn't differ very much from most countries. The ministry aims to help ensure economic viability for farming in Ghana and also food and nutrition security for Ghana. And the ministry, as in most countries, has the mandate to ensure food security. This includes access to nutritious foods. Right, concerning food price monitoring, my directorate supports this mandate that the ministry has by providing information for decision-making in agriculture by tracking production and price data collection. But we collect prices at different levels. We collect prices for wholesale, for retail, at farm gate levels. And we do collect it on weekly basis of agricultural commodities in 170 markets nationwide as at 2019. As at 2019, because the number of markets keeps changing year after year, depending on, the districts and how they get involved with it. So we don't have every district reporting. You will see it later in another slide. So this provides a powerful structure to access, to track access to nutritious food, as we have the prices being collected on weekly basis. Now, previously, we had a list of food lists that we were collecting the prices for. We were just food security minded. Not much of nutrition was factored into the list that we had, because the government was just, we were interested in tracking the availability of food, cost of food for the consumers. So we didn't have the full length of the nutritious foods that can be used for research purpose. We had a difficulty to formulate informed policies and programs toward food and nutrition security without data showing the problem areas, like I said. So along the line came IANDA. IANDA is indicators for affordability and nutritious diets for Africa. It's a collaboration between the Tufts University and then the University of Ghana, who took a look at our commodity list and realized there were some shortfalls. So they reviewed it and contacted us whether we were prepared to add on some commodities that will make it possible for them to go ahead with their research. And we agreed to it, and the partnership was on. So 22 foods were added in all. Most work well. So the area was the several dark green leafy vegetables, which were not much on our list, some fruits, some additional beans, and meat and fish in the form of typically bought by consumers. So we went ahead in 2016. Actually, this collaboration took on in 2016, and we piloted the extended list in 7 major markets to see how, one, our enumerators are going to respond to it, because they have a tall list, they have to collect prices for every week, and also the cooperation from the market women. So this was done over a 4-month period. And if you can see my metrics table here, the blue color shows the foods that were included. So for cereal, we didn't have any problem with it. For white roots and tubers, we added sweet potatoes. And for pulses, bambara beans was also added in addition to cowpea and soybean. And for nuts and seeds, we included melon seeds. And for dark green leafy vegetables, as you can see, I mean, we didn't have anything in that column at all. So these are 3 famous leaves that are consumed in the country: contomere, ademe, as we call it, or alefu, as amaranthus. And then in the seed oil sector, we didn't also have a problem with that. We also included chicken in the meat, poultry, and fish section. We included mutton, meat, snail, chiffon, and fresh fish. So until IANDA came along, we were not collecting these prices on these products. We also included cabbage, lettuce, carrots, and the vegetables. And we also included avocado, pear, pawpaw, coconut, fresh coconut. That is under the fruits column. And for dairy products, milk, we didn't cover it at all. And it is one of the difficult areas because it doesn't come to the market. It has to be in the district for the enumerator to know where it is produced for him to go and collect that price. Right, so that experience of piloting. So the piloting was done, we put the data together, we shared it with IANDA, and they were happy with it. And they asked whether we could go nationwide with it. But the challenge we had with that add-on commodities is the vegetables, the leafy vegetables. The ability to weigh them and weigh them accurately was a challenge. For a commodity like contomere, most of them are very light, and we didn't have the very sensitive scales on the market to be using for the weighing. Then the unit of measure was interestingly also different across markets, differently across markets, the way they are put together. Now, after we've come out with the results together with IANDA, they came out with some indicators. We needed to institutionalize what we did in the 7 markets. And most importantly, going nationwide with such institutionalization comes with a cost. But because we just needed to sensitize the enumerators, the challenge we had with to get the enumerators to buy into it because of the number of commodities they now have to cover. In total, currently, we're covering about 71 commodities on our data collection list. So currently, we've sent the format to regional offices who have forwarded it to the various districts. And then weekly market price reports for the expanded food list is currently being generated. So our weekly prices takes care of the added commodities that we have, which we publish on weekly basis. Right, so this is just to give you an idea of the distribution of the markets across our regions. Currently we have 16 regions, but I just use that of the 10 regions, what was then 2019. And we have 154 districts that are reporting out of the 260 districts. So as you can see, we still have grounds to cover. And that's what gives us the 170 markets. Other updates to data collection system. Right, there's the burden of the enumerator collecting the averages has been eliminated. Hitherto, the enumerators used to pick the prices. They would put it in their notebooks, and then they in turn would calculate the average price for each market and send the averages to us. But we found it necessary to take that burden off them so that we can have the raw data that they collect instead of they doing the calculation and also minimizing the sources of error. So we designed an Excel format which allows them to just input the prices as they collect them from each trader. Enumerators reports on what can be seen and weighed. Yeah, what does this mean? In Ghana, we don't have we don't sell on our markets by weights. So it is just, there is a unit of measure different from every market. And then the consumer just have to pay for what is weighed. And there is also the add-on concept. When you buy it, they add a little bit to it. So there again, bargaining power comes in. So we came with the concept also that they must weigh what is weighable, because some of the commodities are reported, the unit of measure is bags. 100 kg is supposed to be, but once again, we have different bags now on the markets, and it's difficult for the enumerator to weigh them. So the concept is for them to now find the smallest unit of measure and use that to weigh the commodity and take the price from the trader. Timeliness and availability of the data. The enumerators enter the raw data on Excel sheet format after every market day. We have 20 selected markets out of the 170 that directly send their weekly data via internet to the headquarters of SRID, that is Accra. All other markets send it to their regional office, who then put it together as a regional report and then send it to us at the end of every month for collation. End users can also access the data by request. Right, our partnership with IANDA took another level in that IANDA developed new indicators out of what we collected based on new, and they came out with an indicator of a cost of a healthy diet. This was featured in the FERN2020. Using the recently expanded food lists, my directorate could track the indicators using food price monitoring data. Now, further partnership planned within the food prices of nutrition project following IANDA. But in 2018, together with Ghana Statistical Service, ESOCO, Ministry of Health, Women in Agric Directorate, which is part of Ministry of Food and Agriculture, we came together and a presentation was done by IANDA on the various indicators that they have come up with. And we'll try to see which of the institutions will pick up which the indicators to track. Now, opportunities for partnership within Ghana to monitor the affordability of nutritious diets. Like I said earlier, ESOCO is a private company which also collects prices, timely prices, and they publish it. Well Food Program is also in partnership with us when it comes to prices. in their MVAC projects, which they are implementing, they also dwell on the prices that we collect to determine the prices to be offered to their agents. USAID also partner us in our data collection. Collaboration with other agencies like GSS, as I've said, Ghana Health Service, to analyze.
Can you wind up? It's time.
Okay, I'm on this, my last slide. These indicators can be used for decision making toward a more nutritious food. Thank you very much for the opportunity.